Okay, so I've just bought, it's not a new machine, an HDR PVR2 Halpage Gaming Edition. I bought this from CEX. Now, unfortunately, it didn't come with a power adapter, which was not ideal. It came with all the other leads and it's in great condition. So it's even got the sort of cover on it, you know, no one's taken that off from new, but it's really in good condition. It didn't come with a USB A to B, but this is one that I've got. It came with a couple of unused HDMI cables, which I was quite impressed with. It came with the software disc. This is the one that doesn't work with the Mac. You need to buy software. There was an edition beyond this that would work fine. But the big thing that it didn't come with is a power adapter. Now, luckily, I had a similar power adapter with enough milliampage to drive it. I tried a multi-adapter and it was not enough milliampage. So this old Sony one, which must be from, well, the 90s, I guess, it's pretty old. But I've basically, the plug didn't fit, so I've joined, and I don't recommend anybody do this, but I've joined it with masking tape. So the purpose of this video really was to show that you can capture streaming video. So if you've got video on, well, I haven't tried it with lots of other services. I have tried it with ITV, and that worked fine. So I'm guessing it probably works with the rest. And I was using it with my Xbox One because my UView box, for some reason, the copyright protection was really aggressive and it wouldn't let me use it at all. It just, the whole screen was green. But the Xbox One was fine, and ITV Hub, streaming, and then recording. The only reason this has come about is that my TalkTalk UView box has failed. Now, I've had this for years. I've had this almost since the very start that you could get these. I managed to talk them into supplying me with the box, even though they said I didn't have enough speed. But this is the box. I've had the hard disk out of it. I've tried it in a Mac, in a Windows computer. I've tried one of my old computers with Linux, and I just can't get anywhere with it. So in the meantime, I've actually ordered a BT UView box from CX for £32. And the reason I did that, even though you see them at car boot sales and all around, is that it's got a 2-year guarantee from CEX, and a second-hand PVR is probably going to fail. And so then I'll just get another one. And it will just keep me in the loop and it won't cost me any more money. Anyway, so what this video is about, as you can see from the title, is recording streaming video. And I thought probably the most efficient way to do this would be to have, so the Halpage box, obviously we need, you see that in there, yeah? So this streaming box can, it comes with an AV in cable which will do components of the red, green, blue. It comes with HDMI in and out, so you can monitor it on a TV, but I don't need to do that in this case because I'm going to see what's happening, albeit a little bit later, come up on the computer. So plug that in, plug the power in. So this is powered up, it's USB into the Lenovo computer. So if I plug that in to HDMI in, so there's no USB out to power this, so I'm going to have to take power from the laptop just to try and keep this tidy and get rid of this UV box. I still haven't finished trying to fix it, but I've tried several things and it's still not working. Right, is there a USB on that side? This is an interesting USB cable. It doesn't matter which way you put it in on that one, it actually picks its side, and the micro USB is also the same, so it's reversible, which is really cool. So that just plugs in, this plugs into the bottom here, and then we'll get a light, you can just about see that. So if I launch Halpage Capture, so it says it's got input resolution, 1920 by 1080, 60 frames a second, which should be fine. I wanted to do this for a program I had recorded on my old PVR, but my PVR broke. So this is something that I want to record it, then I can watch it and then delete it. So I'm not doing this for, you know, distribution purposes or anything like that. I'm doing it because I've just ordered another PVR. So as soon as I've watched it, I'm going to get rid of it. Ah, right. You've just seen on the laptop, for some reason it's just come up. Must be doing an update, I would say. You can see it says 50% now. That's good. That's great. So my theory works. So basically we've got laptop, we've got the Halpage capture box. Other capture boxes are available, obviously, but this was it was only £33.50 from CEX, and it will work with my old 360, which is component RGB, and it will work with lots of HDMI devices. Yeah, so the Chromecast would have been doing an update, and because I haven't used it for ages. Here we go. Look, something's coming through. There's always a bit of a delay, so whatever comes through on here comes through the computer. Obviously, the box does whatever processing it does, and it takes maybe 5 seconds or so. But it says it's recording 2 minutes 22. As soon as I can cast already. So cast nearby device. Now the reason I'm doing it this way, and I think is a good way of doing it, again it's very neat, but once it's casting, which it should be now, does it detect that I'm trying to record it? Okay, so I've just switched over to my Xbox One because it looks like Chromecast is blocked by the Halpage for whatever reason. I don't know why that would... Well, I guess it must be some sort of copyright protection because the old UView box that I showed you earlier on, that doesn't work. So hopefully... now, this is really unresponsive when it's like this, as you can see, because... it's got to go, press a button, and then you'll see it come up on the screen. Actually, it's not that bad. I can output it to the TV. I just wanted to see if it was possible to do it with just without using the TV. But that was mainly because I was doing it on the Chromecast. Anyway, so for the purpose of this, I'll skip through all of this. Okay, so this is the Promo one. Michael Palin in North Korea. Okay, so let's hit record on the Halpage, and the green light comes on, and then bash the tripod, and now I can press play on the Xbox controller, and you'll see that a few seconds later it will respond. There you go. And we'll get some adverts, but obviously I can edit those out. But I'm only really doing this to watch the one program, and then by the time... Okay, so it looks like it tries to play it and then it doesn't play it. Let's just try another program. Right, let's click on that and see what it does. So click on play. Play. This is interesting. So there's a possibility that this detects that it's trying to be copied. Whereas, as I say, with ITV, I did it the other day and it worked fine. So let's go, in fact, let's go to ITV Hub and show you that that's different. So now I'm on the mission to find a device that you can copy from. Now, I know my Xbox 360 will work because it's got component out. And I know ITV works. That's very strange. So it's almost like something's been forgotten, isn't it? So we'll just go for that. Episode 4. So you can see that's recording. I mean, obviously it's recording the adverts at the moment. Yeah, so this is the program. You can see it's recording, and so that's going in fine.
These ancient fortresses were built to protect a valley on...
but it looks like Channel 5 doesn't work like that. I've done iPlayer as well, and that was fine. So it'll be interesting to see. I'll do another video with other services, or I'll just leave it in the comments as to which services work, because I want to get this video done. So as I want to record Channel 5, and Channel 5 is not working through my Xbox One, I'm going to have to switch cables and switch devices. So... this cable came with it, and you can see here that it's component and audio. So let's plug that one in and I'll switch it. So let's stop that recording, just to show that I'm not keeping any of this. Hit delete. There you go. Unplug the Xbox HDMI and plug in the component cable from my Xbox 360, which is... So it's analog component, but it's still capable of 1080 I think probably 30 frames a second. It's certainly good quality. This cable's really fiddly. Ah, there you go. So that's in. Let's start up the Xbox 360, and I've just lent on my HomePod, so it's probably going to play music. No, it's alright. Turn off my Xbox One, turn on my Xbox 360. Gosh, this was going to be a lot easier if it worked with the Chromecast. So an analog device, I think, is going to be the answer here, because I think it will, copyright protection won't come up on it. So I'm on an Xbox 360 now. So let's go to capture. I've got to switch this to component in, and then hopefully we'll get an Xbox 360 display come up here. And there we are. Now, have I already got the Channel 5 app? If not, I'm going to have to install it on there. Browse apps. Because there was one, what was not on here? That's right, ITV wasn't on the Xbox 360, and it says STV is, but I couldn't find it. And I did a search and it was coming up with an error. So let's click on Demand 5. To be fair, you know what's going on with the Halpage. Let's just move the laptop closer, hoping that the USB doesn't dislodge. There you go, and then you can see much more of my screen then. And what I'll do at the end of this, I'll show a couple of captured bits of videos, but I'm probably going to obscure some of the screen because I don't want any copyright strikes. This is my Xbox 360 I also bought from CEX, and I've just bought a BT UView box if I haven't mentioned it already in the video. And everything seems to be £33.50. It was £33.50 including postage for the Halpage capture box. The Xbox was £33.50 with a wired controller, and the BT UView box, which is a bargain at £33.50, is I've just ordered it today, so that'll be coming soon to replace my old Huawei one. But again, all of these things have a 2-year guarantee, so if they fail, then I can take them back and I can get, I think they give you gift vouchers to spend on something else, and I'll need something else to replace it, so it's not an issue. Okay, so once again, the reason it's a delay is because it has to go through the capture box and into my PC. It's not a slow computer, and if you have it, because you can output this Halpage back to the TV, then you see it all in real time and everything works fine, but you also have the recording facility. So let's hit record now, because I can always edit out. Well, I'm only going to watch this program once. The idea is I don't want the program to disappear with Catchup TV. And you can use this method if you're going to take stuff on holiday that you can't maybe capture ordinarily. If you're only going to do it temporarily, I don't see it as a big deal. I certainly don't archive content. I pay for Now TV and Amazon Prime. Demand 5. So for some reason I was trying to launch it and it wasn't actually downloaded, even though there was a tile there. Right, so now let's click on it. This is what it's like to use a Sony Android TV. You press a button and nothing seems to happen. But as I say, this is only the delay because it's going through the capture box. Now obviously as time goes on, this is going to get trickier because most devices will be HDMI and they won't be an analog output, so it's much more hard to copy content. Okay, so there's the program I want. I've actually ended up putting it that the HDMI is going through my TV because it's much more responsive then. So episode 2 is what I want. So let's start that. Okay, so that's showing on my telly, showing on the laptop. If I turn the laptop up, you'll be able to hear it. Okay, so I'll interrupt myself there because although it looked like it was working, and I tried it on several different services, the Xbox 360 didn't work. And when I went to play back the files, even though it looked like they were capturing them live, there was nothing there. So I'll remove the Xbox 360 from the list and I'll show you what did work. Okay, so here are the results from my testing. So the Xbox 360 and the Chromecast are out. The Apple TV did iPlayer and My5, and the Xbox One did Amazon Prime Video, iPlayer and iTV Hub. So it's weird that not all the services marry up. So I'm going to try different machines. I also want to try Netflix and Now TV, but I've got a Wii U, a Nvidia Shield, a cheap Android box, a Now TV box, a Wii. I've got all sorts of different equipment that I can try, just for interest really, and I'll see how I get on. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And here's some results from my tests just to show you it working.
He's my data self.
Hello.
We met at Experience.
I'm Ben Fogel, and over the next few weeks I'm going to live with different people who inhabit some of the most remote locations on Earth.
Les incompétents.
What?
In a time of economic uncertainty,
Small fortress, and maybe that's the ruins of a palace beside it.
What is the meaning of this? Matron will be informed of this deplorable behaviour.
But